Welcome back to AskDRTK, and today we're going to get into another headphone review. This time it's the Philips SHP9500s. Let's check them out. And if you've seen my other headphone reviews, you know that I try to really give you an idea of what they sound like by showing you the frequency response. For me to sit here and say, these are great, I really love them, you got to buy them, that's not going to help you at all. But if I can show you the frequency response and I can talk about the tone characteristics, the coloration based on that, that might help you. So whether you're looking to use these for recording, mixing, mastering, general use, gaming, streaming, there should be something in this video for you. And as an open back design, these headphones are going to let sound in and out. So depending on your space, if you're using this where other audio is present, open back design may or may not be the right choice for you. Now, I use a variety of headphones daily, so whether I'm recording, mixing, mastering, streaming, even a little bit of light gaming, I'll give you an idea from that perspective as to where these headphones might fit in. And so in this video, first I'm going to unbox the headphones, then I'll actually let them run in for 24 hours. I'll play music through them for a day so that they're broken in for sure, just in case it alters the tone characteristics at all. Then we'll get into some audio tests. And again, I'm really big on giving you information, not just telling you I like them. After that, I'll get into the build quality and some final thoughts on who these headphones are for and whether I might recommend them. All right, so let's go ahead and unbox these Philips SHP9500s. Has what I expect in consumer packaging, a little bit of information on the outside, fairly decently constructed box. Let's go ahead and open this up. And inside we see another box within the outer sleeve, and so that's good. That's going to provide some additional protection for the headphones. Let's go ahead and slide this package open. And so now that we're inside, I see the headphones are wrapped up and they have some cardboard insert, which is going to help again to protect them. There we have the cable. It seems to be quite long, but we do only get one cable with these headphones. Looks like we get also an adapter though for a 1/4 inch if we need to use that. So that's good to see. Now we'll get the headphones out of this package as well. And first impression is that they're pretty lightweight, seem to be of a decent build quality. Yeah, pretty solid as I open them up. So I would say first impression on them, pretty reasonable. So now that we've unboxed these headphones, let's go ahead and do some audio tests. We're going to look at a tone generator, music, and spoken word. And we're going to do some frequency analysis because I really want to try to show you what to expect from these headphones. Because the idea of me sitting here and telling you they sound good, I like them, they're really great for the money, etc., isn't really going to help you in terms of figuring out whether these are what you need. So let's go ahead and do some frequency tests. Again, we'll start out with tone generator. Okay, so first we'll take a look at a tone generator connected directly up to the Scarlett 8i6. We're going to do a sweep of 20 to 20,000 hertz and a direct capture again, no microphone here, so we can see what the signal is like. Let's take a look at the sweep using linear frequency analysis. And now we'll take a look at the same tone generator sweep recorded through the SHP9500s using an AKG P170. And now we're looking at a linear frequency comparison of the tone directly into the 8i6 versus the tone through the SHP9500s. And we can see that there certainly is a roll-off in the response. We got kind of a dip in that 9K range, and then over at the top as well. Of course, we need to be aware of the P170's coloration, and so I've thrown the frequency response up on the screen as well for you to take a look at. But all in all, I mean, we can definitely see there is some coloration in terms of the tone. Now, this is a direct comparison using a linear format. Let's take a look at a logarithmic format. Okay, so now we're looking at a log comparison. The reason we'd be interested in a logarithmic view is that this really more accurately represents what we hear. So it's, again, a better idea of what we actually hear versus the linear frequency response of the actual headphones. And as you can see, this tells a little different story. Really, we have a lot more even response as far as what we hear from the SHP9500s, with a roll-off in the low end as well as the high end. Again, considering the frequency response of the P170, I would expect some roll-off at the bottom, but the high end definitely, because we have a boost with the P170, the high end, we're definitely losing out on some of those very, very high tones. Okay, and now we'll look at a frequency sweep of music. Again, we'll start out here with the direct music file recorded through the 8i6. And now we'll take a look at the frequency analysis of the music recorded through the SHP9500s using the AKG P170. Okay, and now we're looking at a comparison of the frequency response using the linear method, again, of the direct music into the 8i6 versus through the SHP9500s. And we can see that the reproduction is quite faithful in the lower ends, but we start to lose out on some of the response in the high end with a noticeable gap along the middle. Now let's take a look at the log response again to get a better idea of what we might hear. And now we're looking at a log comparison of the music recorded directly into the 8i6 versus recorded through the SHP9500s. And this tells a little bit of a different story. Again, the log is a better representation of what we can hear. And ultimately, that's going to be very important if we want to use these headphones for mixing or mastering. But even in terms of just general listening, it'll give you a better idea of what to expect from these headphones. And as you can see, the response is actually fairly faithful when we're looking at it from this perspective. A little bit of a dip in the low end, but not much. It's pretty even. A little bit of a miss kind of in the high range again, especially when I consider that the P170 does have a bit of a boost up in that high area. But overall, when I compare the music here with the log format, the 9500s are pretty faithful for headphones in this price range. And now we'll take a look at the frequency sweep for spoken word recorded with the Shure SM7B into the ART voice channel and recorded using SPDIF into the Focusrite Scarlett 8i6. This is a recording of my voice, so you can compare headphones to an original recording. And now we'll take a look at a frequency sweep of the same recording using the Shure SM7B into the ART voice channel, recorded through SPDIF into the Focusrite Scarlett 8i6, only this time it'll be recorded through the SHP9500s using the AKG P170 microphone. This is a recording of my voice, so you can compare headphones to an original recording. And now looking at a linear frequency comparison of spoken word, again with direct into the 8i6 versus through the SHP9500s. And you can see the general profile here is pretty true to the sound. So on a linear basis here, pretty accurate. Again, missing a little bit of that high information. But let's again take a look at the log comparison to get a better idea of what we might actually hear. Okay, and finally, we're looking at the logarithmic comparison of spoken word, again, directly into the 8i6 versus recorded through the SHP9500s. And it certainly was apparent to my ear that the high end was missing from the original file, was a little bit muffled when I heard it compared to, again, the original file. And you can see it here in the logarithmic response. Based on this, you'd expect that you're going to hear less clarity, less presence, a little bit less high end. So that is something to keep in mind if you're going to use these headphones for spoken word. You know, if you're trying to mix and master anything with spoken word, you might end up over boosting the presence tones. So you got to watch that a little bit. The same is going to be apparent a little bit on the music that we saw a few screens before, but wasn't as apparent to hear anyways. And so after the audio test, looking at the frequency response and also based on what I could hear, I would say that you can expect these headphones to have more of a roll-off in the presence area and certainly the high range The bass area, the low tones are pretty even, pretty well matched to the original files and original recordings, but you will lose some of that mid and high end material in there. And again, for studio use, we're trying to generally get as flat as possible so that it becomes a little bit easier to mix and master for a broad audience that's going to listen after the fact. But the sound in general is decent through these headphones. I would say they're pretty good for the price point that they're in. But you need to be aware that the frequency response is perhaps a little bit less flat than what I would normally look for studio application. And just a quick overview of the specs for the SHP 9500s. They are an open back design with 50 millimeter drivers with neodymium magnets. They have impedance of 32 ohms, so pretty much anything is going to drive these headphones. So any kind of phone, tablet, computer, use them with any interface, absolutely no issue here. Sensitivity 101 dB, max input of 200 milliwatts. And again, my finding is that I can get plenty of volume out of these headphones on a variety of devices. I did test them with an iPhone XR as well as a Scarlett 8i6 interface and a PC. The frequency response is spec'd at 12 to 35,000 hertz. And again, based on our audio tests, I'm not so sure just how much gain we get up in that high-end range, but nonetheless, that's what they're telling us. The cable is 3 meters in length, so plenty of distance here, straight cable only, and coming in at just over 2 pounds, 1 kilogram. These headphones are fairly lightweight, so you can wear them for quite a long time. Now, in terms of build quality, the headphones are fairly well constructed. I mean, we do have plastic material here. The pads feel pretty nice to wear, pretty solid. The adjustments here, I mean, they are detanted, so you can tell where you're going to be in terms of setting them up. The headphones also do swivel in both directions, which is really nice in terms of the fit and comfort for wearing. Plenty of room inside the ear pads, so regardless of how large your ear area is, they're going to fit very well. In terms of the cable, it only comes with one cable, and what it has is just the 3.5 to 3.5, so it's pretty standard cable on this. I will say this cable, it's very rubbery, kind of very sticky, so you're going to find that given that and also the length, it does tend to kind of get caught up and tangled up a bit. Would have been nice to have a coiled cord with this as an option as well. But overall, again, in this price point, very comfortable to wear, fair amount of adjustment range. And I've tried them actually beyond this video, wearing them for a few hours to listen, and the comfort was good. So quality overall, decent, comfort good, build quality is a thumbs up. And so my overall thoughts for these headphones is, given the price range, the comfort and build is there. The sound quality is quite good, but don't expect them to be very, very flat for mixing and mastering purposes. But they are enjoyable to listen to. I didn't find them fatiguing when I tried to listen to music for a while on them. So a good general use headphone, certainly. Also tried gaming a little bit on them, and some of the really high pitched kind of nuances, maybe some very soft sounds in the background, you might not pick up as well as you need to for high performance gaming. But again, I think they're reasonable for that, given the overall comfort and the fact that if you wanted to wear them and game for a lot of hours, you could do that. So overall, when I consider the price, I think these headphones are very good, just with a few caveats as to how you might use them. And as an open back headphone, I would say they were very comfortable for a long duration and had a kind of a spacious sound, as I would expect again from this design. But if you're interested in headphones with a very flat frequency response in this price range, you may want to look at the Audio-Technica ATH M40Xs. They're not as comfortable as these headphones to wear. They have smaller ear pads, but they're a closed back design, so if you have any noise in your listening environment, that could be an issue too. But mainly those headphones have a flatter frequency response. So again, it all depends what you're going to use them for. If ultimate flat response is not what's important to you, these are a great headphone to choose, really comfortable, and they sound good. And if you'd like to level up the quality of your recording, streams, and music production, check out one of the videos on the screen. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.